She was the first artist that I signed on my label. So nobody knew she was gonna be that big, like nobody. Hey, what's going on everybody? This is your boy AKON and I'm at Melty. I'm gonna share with y'all some significant points in my career and I'm gonna show some of this history and give you some of them emotional feelings in the background. So welcome to the Backstage Pass. Okay, let's see, the first one.
Hey, bro, you wanna buy the cell phone? 500 minutes, bro. Come on, man. 500 minutes, bro. Come on, man. 5 hours.
Ooh, locked up. Listen, this record right here was like, it took first of all forever for us to shoot the video. And this was like the third version of the video before we actually got and raised the money to shoot this video. There was no budget available for my video at this point. But the beautiful part about it is we wasn't able to use dollars to actually hire the cast. So we just went into a neighborhood in Brooklyn and we just picked everybody out from the street and used them as the cast. So what you're seeing is real crackheads in real life. Locked Up actually was a song that I actually wrote in jail when I was locked up. See, before I got locked up, I would always write songs about my experiences. Because I was in an illegal circle, I couldn't really speak openly about what I was going through in my life, so the best way to kind of get it out and vent was through songs. So I would go to the studio and I would write about my experiences. So when I got locked up, that became one of the habits that followed me in jail. And Locked Up was created. Everything that's in the song is real. Well, actually, it being my debut single, I wasn't quite sure how to think or what to think, and I didn't want to get too excited too early because I've been having bad luck all the way up until this point. So I was just praying that everything goes well. The first time I heard the song on the radio was in my car, actually. So I'm driving and I came into my car, I turned it on, I'm riding, and the song is playing. So I thought it was a cassette tape that I put in earlier because I only listen to my songs anyway. And then shortly after the song was over, I'm expecting another song to come on. And then that's when I hear the DJ, "Oh, that's new music by AKON." I'm like, what? I was like, ah, shit. I was super excited, yeah. Wow. So this is another record that I actually wrote while I was in jail. And as you can see, when you're in jail, you're very lonely. That's the loneliest place in the universe. But that record was based on an ex-girlfriend of mine who actually now is my wife, but she left me because she thought I was doing too many bad things. And I used that song to get her back, and it worked. Lonely being such a success, I honestly didn't know it was gonna be such a big hit because I never knew that any of my songs would be, because I just had a hit record with Locked Up. So I thought, the world would want another urban street record at that time. So I was nervous about this one. But I also knew that there's a lot of people in the world that are going through what I just went through, and there's a lot of relationships that I know for sure this record could be dedicated to. So I kind of depended on that to make this song become a hit, but it became one of the biggest records in my career. To this day, I meet people, that's all they sing. I'm going through the airport, "Hey, that's AKON, Lonely." You see me in a restaurant, "Hey, AKON, you sing Lonely." Everywhere I go, so this is like one of the biggest records in my career.
Smack that all on the floor, smack that till you get sore, smack that till you get sore, smack that, oh, smack that.
Now, Smack That was a journey right there because I think that record is what solidified me in the music business. And at that time, I was able to secure Eminem as a feature on the album. And Eminem was an artist that didn't really normally work with nobody. I was like one of the few artists in his whole career outside of artists that he was connected to that he worked with. So that was a big honor for me. Well, actually, it just so happened that Eminem was a big fan of me as I was a bigger fan of him. And he had an artist named Obi Trice at the time that was signed to him. And I did a big record for him. So Eminem was like, man, I need to meet him. So Obi used that as a way of inviting me to the studio while Eminem was there, and he introduced us. And then from there, me and him just connected and we just made Smack That. Oh no, it was amazing working with him because he was in the game longer than me. And he played me all like 5 tracks and then I chose the Smack That beat. As soon as I heard it, I said, this is a hit, I know it. I didn't even have to think twice. But then once I put the song on top of it, he heard it, was like, yo, this is a hit. That's when I was fully confirmed. And he was like, okay, this one is the one we're gonna do together. So he jumped on top of the record and that was it, man. It was history from there. It's so crazy because now that I see her that young, that excited, like, and she, nah, man, this was a great video that we did too, because at that time, she was the first artist that I signed on my label. So nobody knew she was gonna be that big, like nobody. But we knew she was super talented and she was gonna be a big star, but we didn't know that she would probably one day be the biggest star in the world. So to see this now from, man, that's amazing to see that. I chose her because she was fearless. You know, she wasn't afraid to try anything. And she was a real artist and very talented. She was a classic piano player. She has a great voice. And she was just, to me, like very disruptive. She didn't want to do anything that another artist was doing. And that's what I loved about her the most. So this song was co-wrote and produced by myself and Red One. And she was already an amazing songwriter. Actually, when we did the song, she was coming to write with me to do a collaboration for a song I was writing for Pussycat Dolls. And originally, when this song was finished, this is a song we were gonna give to Pussycat Dolls. But then when we finished it, I was like, I can't get this away, this is too big. So, you know, and that's how it all came about. But man, this girl is just amazing, you know, super, super talented. I wrote songs for everybody. Like when I first started, I started as a writer and a producer, and then later became an artist. So I mean, I wrote for everybody. Wrote records on Fuji's album, wrote records for Lionel Richie, Whitney Houston. I mean, you name it. Rihanna, Monica, Usher, Black Eyed Peas. I mean, you could just, yeah, go on and on. Benjamin. This new record comes off a single of our whole connection that we're putting out now. I created a group called the AKON label group, which is 4 labels. You have Que, which is a Spanish label, Akonda, which is the Afrobeat label, AKON, which is more of the hip-hop R&B, and then Jamacon, which is the Caribbean and Calypso label. So this record is a series of singles that we put out to promote the album. But Benjamin itself is a record that symbolizes today's generation women. Young, very ambitious, and they love Benjamin more than they love their boyfriend. And Benjamin is short for Benjamin Franklin, the $100 bill. Man, I look back at my career now and just kind of can't believe how far I come. Because some of the stuff that I'm doing now, I even can't believe I'm doing. You know, like before, I thought it was just gonna be only music. But then as music started to get more successful, I started dipping and dabbing into other things. And before you know it, I get involved in more things than music. And to find myself now doing, you know, building cities and providing electricity. And these are all the things I knew nothing about before music. So it's a big shock now.